these variety of people that might be struggling with these questions. And yeah, we'll get stuck into these now just in a moment. Excuse the noise, there's a lot of noise. But yeah, all right. If you are new around here, I'm Gary. I go by Gary the Expert. And in this video, we're going to do these questions. But normally, I'm an ex-addict, best-selling author, and I've created a bulletproof app that you can download on the App Store. And I will say that every time. The Bulletproof app. Download it now on your App Store. All right. I'll get stuck into these in just 2 seconds. If you take the city. Right, I need to get a question. What was a question that I wanted to put in the poll? It was this. Let's see. Let's go with this quiz. I believe that's you, Linda, there coming in. Fantastic. All right, where do we get a quiz going again? Not that button. Retouch. That makes me look better. I'll keep that on. All right. Lighting. Bit of lighting. My goodness. I actually don't think I can. I literally don't think I can create a poll here. This is crazy. Here we go. I got it. Ask your question. Paste that. Yes. No. Is addiction a character flaw or moral weakness? Amazing. Start that poll. Start that poll up. Now, all right. I'm Gary again. I go by Gary the Expert. I answer addiction questions, and in this video, I've got a list here that I will run through. But there's a poll. Answer the poll. Vote in the poll. I'm an ex-addict. I also have an app called Bulletproof Recovery. You can download it on the App Store right now. So if you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll get answering these questions. And if you need some help, just drop in a comment, and I will happily help you in this moment with you. But yeah. Vote on the, is addiction a character flaw or moral weakness? And it's not either or, it's do you think it is both of those? All right, let's look at number one. Question number one. Why do I romanticize my old life when I know it nearly ruined me? What a beautiful question. I actually thoroughly enjoy. Thanks for the vote, whoever just voted there. Why do I romanticize my old life? Well, old habits die hard is the old saying. You've taken a substance that make you 300% increase in your dopamine levels. So why do you romanticize it? Well, Al Pacino, Miami Vice, 1980s. Right? All of these reasons is why you'd romanticize it, because you still think it's fantastic. You still think it's a solution. You still think the substance is great. The alcohol, the behavior, you still think it's great for you. Thanks for the vote as well. Again, I'm an ex-addict, Gary the Expert. Hit the subscribe button. I've got an app, Bulletproof Recovery. You can download on the App Store right now if you're struggling with addiction. It will help you. Number two, and if you have any questions, get them into the chat box and I will help you. Hey, Vid. Yes, Vid. I don't know if that's your name. One of your names. Your name might be Vid or just Yes, Vid, but pleasure to meet you, dude. All right. How's your day going, Vid? Tell me that. Curious to know. Anything happening today that's cool? Do you also agree or disagree with this? Addiction is, that's good. Is addiction a character flaw or moral weakness? Is it both of those? All right. Vid, do you struggle with addiction out of curiosity? Or have you had addiction before? Thank you for commenting as well. Hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. All right. Number two as well, what's the real difference between I want to and I'm comfortable with I'm comfortable and I'm uncomfortable, I need a relief? Well, this is actually an interesting question. Why is it interesting? Because most addicts will say they want to use it. Most addicts will say that they need it. Most addicts will say that I didn't do it out of negativity. I didn't use the substance out of bad feelings, bad faith, but actually they more often than not use it out of stress. They would have 10 minutes of stress, then they would have 1 minute of decision, and in that 1 minute decision, they think that they made the decision and that was it. So it comes from a negative place, actually, probably 95% of the time. So what's the difference? The difference is you want it, you don't really want the substance that's going to kill you. You don't really want the substance that's going to really, really hurt you, do you? You don't really want that. We strip back the layers. You don't really want that. Hey, Jude, nice to meet you. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Jude, where are you from? Both Assure looks French, but I'm not the greatest person to say where people are from. Texas. Yeah, you like weed. Do you like weed? Are you addicted to weed? Do you believe you can be addicted to weed? I'll tell you, that's a question. Do you believe you can be addicted to weed? What do you think? Again, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. I'm Gary. I go by Gary the Expert. There is Bulletproof Recovery, which is an app you can download on the App Store right now. You probably can, yeah. I believe I was addicted to weed. I was taking it every day. I was like Stephen Hawkins. And without the brains, without the computer, I was like completely vegetabilized when I was taking it. That's awesome, Vid. It's great to hear you're still here as well. Denmark, I believe you spelled your own country name wrong there, but guess where I'm from? Guess where I'm from? All right. If you have a question, if you're struggling with addiction, you're struggling with substances, drop in a question. I'll help you here right now on this live. Ireland, I tell you, that was too fast. Honestly, that was that was too fast. I don't know what gave it away because I'm not a leprechaun. All right. Let me actually get a beautiful other question. I like that question there. Replace. Can you be addicted? Can you be addicted to weed? All right. And by the way, if you're new here, thank you to those two boys. I'd love to get a subscribe. I'm going to be streaming, and I'll try to help you as much as possible on this live stream. All right. Can you be addicted to weed? Start the poll. Scotland. Look at this fella. Scotland. Are you kidding me? All right. There's a new poll. Hit on that poll. What do you think? Can you be addicted to weed? Fun fact for girls. Should I read all this out before I... I'm not going to read that one out anyways, I'll tell you that. Goodness gracious, are you kidding me? Who brought that guy in here? Huh? Who brought that guy in here? All right, we got a couple of votes on. No, you cannot be addicted to weed. All right, let's answer number 3 while we go through this. And if you need a hand, I will try to help you as much as possible. So you can definitely be addicted to weed. That's a strong statement by definitely. The vote says no, Andrew. The vote says no. I'm with you on that opinion, but the votes say no. I fully agree, to be honest. No. People often say weed is like it's a plant. You can't get addicted. It's healthy. It's good. You know, these are normal things that I hear when I'm dealing with clients when it comes to weed. Helps me sleep. Helps me relax. These are all nice, soothing sentences that keeps them trapped in addiction. All right, number 3. How do I handle first payday? Oh, jeez, my phone's on 7%. I need to change my microphone. 1 sec. All right, my microphone won't be using my DJI mic. And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. In my opinion, weed is a drug. Weed is a drug. Yep. Are you from Texas like the other guy who that'd be good. That'd be cool. Interesting. All right, what was that question about payday? If I get paid, how do I handle the first payday, first big win without celebrating with substances? It's a great question. So how do you handle it? Well, you can add accountability. Accountability would be a nice thing to do. So let's say it's your partner, or it's a friend, or it's a family member. That level of accountability is very good. You can take it in cash, give it to that person. You can also say no to going out. What does that mean? Literally saying no. For the first early days of recovery, saying no is going to be your best friend. Saying no, say no, say no. Later on, go get help, or going out. I recommend you having help as you're going out there. First big win and first big loss. If you get traumatized, losing, well, You know, can you live life not taking substance? Can you live life happy? Absolutely. All right, TMC. Let's say if any people I know smoke weed, I definitely unfriend. Oh, interesting. Interesting, because your first comment was absolutely wild. This comment, very nice. Very, very, it's a lovely sentence there. All right, yeah, if you're using any substance to escape life, including weed, you aren't addressing the reasons why you need to escape life. Just stuck in a spiral. Again, I'm fully on board with what you're saying here, Andrew. So I love it. It's great. People say no. 3-1 votes of no, that you can't be addicted. I disagree altogether. Can you be addicted to weed? I love that. I love that. I love that statement there, Andrew. Brilliant. Where are you from, Andrew? Because that's quality and educated, I would say. All right. What's next? Number 4. What do I do when I feel too normal, when my brain says I can't handle it again? And my brain says I can't handle it again. What do I do when I feel too normal and my brain says I can't handle it again? What the heck is normal? You know, what even is normal? There's a book called The Myth of Normal. We all think, oh, my childhood wasn't normal, my father wasn't normal, my mother wasn't normal. Normal is such a massive spectrum. It's normal is who? Normal to your neighbor, normal to a kid in a different country. Normal is unbelievable. All right. So what do I do when I feel too normal and my brain says it can't handle it? It says I can. I think there's a typo in that. My brain says I can handle it again. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say I can't. Is that right? What do I do when my brain feels too normal? This is great. When your brain feels too normal, I would affirm to yourself that this is good, this is healthy, this is happy, this is your new standard. Yeah, accept that. Accept that reality. Accept that new place. Be comfortable. Start becoming comfortable in that. Start affirming that to yourself. What would you do when you feel too normal? Too normal, it sounds like there's negative association to it. I would talk to someone, if that's a therapist, if that's a friend, and hopefully they can help you or coach you down instead of it being too emotionally impactful. Too normal is a good thing. Let's go with the 5. How do I rebuild self-respect when I keep remembering things I did while using? Well, this is called the shame shivers. Would have talked about this on yesterday's live stream. Shame shivers is something that pokes up on your head, pokes up randomly. Just the image of your mind. Shame shivers is something that makes you feel disgusted about yourself. It makes you feel vile. You feel sick when you think of these things. You know, an image of when you were using the substance. The shame shivers is a devastating thought. It's you did this, you did that, this person, that time, this location, that day. You've got that etched into your soul. Yeah, and that is called a shame shiver. Once you hear that, it's terrible. What do you do with those things? Well, shame is one of the lowest emotions that someone can feel. Hit the like button on this as well. Another little plug. Why not another little plug? If you're struggling with addiction, Gary the Expert is my socials and Instagram. Bulletproof Recovery is an app that you can download right now. Wales, love that, Andrew. It's great. I'm struggling with alcohol recovery. Do you go to AA? I didn't get you the rest of your question, but do you go to AA in any way, shape, or form? Trying my best to abstain. Stopped for 2 years, but recently started again. It's been 4 days since my last drink. Trying to get used to sitting in bad thoughts. I'm actually surprised to hear that you are using because of your awareness that you have. Your awareness is quality in terms of your last 2 comments, let's say. And I'm surprised you're using. Well done for being 4 days so far. And do you plan on going abstinent again? Oh, I think you did say that. I'm trying my best to go abstinent, yeah. All right. Well done for having some goals. Well done for already having 2 years under your belt. You're actually more likely to succeed, by the way, statistically. You're more likely to succeed because you had a long time under your belt, Andrew. So well done on doing that. Well done on having 2 years, even though maybe the relapse was catastrophic or devastating. Yeah, surprised. All right. How do I rebuild self-respect when I remember doing shame shiver is going to happen? Rebuilding self-respect is knowing that in AA they say you're not responsible for your actions during your addiction, but you are responsible for your actions after your addiction. So, in the moment, you're not in your right frame of mind. You did the best with your best knowledge, and you done what your thoughts and urges and thoughts and philosophies and all the moments of your shame shivers in the moment. You did best with what you thought would be useful for you. All right, even though it turned out to be a terrible decision, it it was in the moment that was the best knowledge you had. And you know, the regret that you have on it doesn't need to be there. It can reduce, and does reduce over time as you get more time under your belt. So self-respect will grow with time, and also processing those things, realizing that you're not your thoughts, realizing that those memories don't define you. They're not the end of your reality. They're not who you will be for the rest of your life. It's just a moment that is the same shivers. All right, number 6. Why do I get sudden confidence spikes that lead straight to risky decisions? Well, this is therapy 101, in fact, in addiction counseling. All right, Andrew, thanks very much. I'm trying to be completely sober. Yeah, relapse wasn't that bad, to be honest. No rock bottom, but can see it would go that way if I didn't stop. Do you go to AA, and are you working with someone like a therapist or anything like that? Well done for getting back on the wagon, as you said. Honestly, I really appreciate. That's amazing. So well done for you getting back on the wagon and know what you want. So what do I get sudden confidence spikes that lead straight to risky decision making? Well, risky decisions, and if you go to therapy, if someone goes to therapy or addiction counseling or rehab, they go in there for a couple of days, for a couple of sessions, and then they think they got it. They think they're confident. They're overconfident. They think they don't need any more help. They think they're much further down the road than they are. They spike of confidence, and then they go and relapse. That's playbook 101 with someone that's overconfident, that stops getting support earlier on. Again, I see a few people joined in. Download the Bulletproof Recovery app on the App Store. Helps you with addiction. My name's Gary. I go by Gary the Expert. I'm an ex-addict. Gary the Expert online on all socials. Hit the like button. Comment on this. Hit the vote button. Can you be addicted to weed? And hit the subscribe button. That'd be also very much appreciated while you're there. So more confidence equals risky behaviors in general. You think you can go to the pub. You think you can go out with those friends that use, and you think all these things, but actually, you're still very vulnerable, very vulnerable, right? So don't take too much of a chance like that. All right, what's the next one? The next one is, how do I handle conflict without walking out, shutting down, or reaching for something? So how do you handle conflict? I'd honestly say, first and foremost, understand or research or improve your communication styles. So whatever it is, communication styles is a way to improve your conflict. Conflict and communication, clearly, that's going to be a very useful thing to do. What else you can do is by going to those people that you have conflict with and letting them know that you're going to be a little bit irritable, a little bit pissed off, a little bit easy. Like you're basically in the wrong when you're an addict, and you should be. So communication styles, apologizing to those people around you, and in terms of conflict, looking at or researching, I would say, these ideas of how to handle criticism, constructive criticism, how to give constructive criticism, looking at ways to develop skills of conflict would be a simple answer towards that, of how to handle conflict without walking out or shutting down. Shutting down is a big part of people struggling on their recovery journey, honestly. All right. Is Cristiano Ronaldo winning this game? No. It's still 0-0, and it's on YouTube, by the way. And I'm grateful you're here watching this live stream. Can you be addicted to weed? Getting no's. All right, what's the best response to the thoughts, I'll never be happy without it? Simple. I'm an ex-addict, and I can tell you I'm happy, without a doubt. I have met several dozen people that are sober, and they say their life is 8,000 times better. So don't make it about you that you'll never be happy without the substance. I can guarantee you, you will be happier without the substance. I can guarantee it. I guarantee you. So don't worry about that fearful thought that you won't be happier. All right, what's next? What should I do if I feel lonely, even around people? Well, this is an interesting one, because that is a real thing. You're in a room, you're in a crowded room, and you feel like the loneliest person in the room. That's a real thing. Does that sound like you? You're in a crowded room, you're on your own. Do you feel like the loneliest person? You're in a crowded room full of people, but you feel like the loneliest person. Is that a thing? Do you feel like that? But what you can do in that stage, I would say that stage passes. You know, I would honestly say that stage passes for you. Don't worry. It's like a disconnect between you and yourself. Don't mind you and the people around you. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. I'm actually not exactly sure how to handle that, because I don't fully deal with that on my moment, but that's okay. All right, how do I... Oh, I skipped one there. All right, number 9. How do I stop making recovery my whole identity without getting careless? How do I stop making recovery my whole identity without getting careless? Well, this is an interesting question because some people in AA, for example, they'll say, if you don't go to meetings, you're doing it wrong. If you don't read the book, you're doing it wrong. If you're not going if you're not going to AA, you're doing it wrong. But so those people do wrap their identity around recovery. You go to AA, and they wrap their identity around it, recovery. And some people don't need to wrap their self or identity around recovery. They don't. Some people don't. They don't need to at all. All right, 1 second. All right. So how do you not wrap your identity around it? Well, your identity, like get into a healthy place, not an overconfident place. And this is again where therapy would be very useful, is where you have someone that can tell you honestly, are you in a overconfident place? Are you in a confident place? Are you in a bad place? Are you in a very, very vulnerable and very risky place? Well, that's the benefit of having a good therapist that will be able to tell you that. And then when they tell you that where you are, you can start having a bit more belief in yourself. You get a bit more reassurance from the person that says, look, actually, you can go out for a night out with your friends, but this is your plan that you're going to go do. And when you go do that plan, you succeed, you get more confidence under your belt. All right, what's next? Number 11. How do I deal with I don't belong anywhere feeling in early recovery? I would ask, do you really believe that? Do you really feel that you don't belong anywhere? You have tons of friends. You have tons of colleagues. You've got tons of family. And maybe like if the worst case scenario, you don't have any of those contacts. But you usually would have family, friends, and others that would be supporting you on your recovery journey. So you don't belong. You might feel like the black sheep, the odd one out because you were the addict and everyone was looking at you and everyone was judging you and everyone was doing this. But as time goes on, your confidence is going to come back, your respect is going to come back, your attitude is going to improve. So you're actually going to improve in many areas. So don't worry if you feel like you're lonely or you're feeling abnormal or early on in recovery. It's normal, but don't worry about it. Okay, it's gonna get to a happier and healthier place in a few months. All right, number 12. What do I do when I'm triggered by a place I can't avoid, like work, home, or town? Well, this is actually a good thing in my eyes. This is a good thing because this means you have to face the facts. You have to face the truth. You have to attack the hill. So if you're getting triggered by something, a location, a person, time, place, sentence, or anything, word, well, those things are very useful for you. Again, they feel bad in the moment, but they're very useful for you. So getting triggered is okay because now we can work on getting on our triggers. If you're walking down the pub, walking down the road, and you see the pub that you always used to take the substance in, the pub you used to always take the substance in is the same thing that would be a trigger. Now we can work on the trigger. If you think a certain word always triggers you, drug, substance, time, person, place, whatever, that is a place where you can improve, you can change, you can grow. So it's really good in that regard. All right, it's very helpful to know your triggers because then you can actually work on your triggers. All right, what's next? How do I handle old music, smells, roots, routines that brings back cravings? This is a fun one. Why is a fun one? Because me being over half a decade sober, 7, 8, 9 years, I love the music that I was using when I was using drugs, but I don't have any cravings. So you can still enjoy the music and not have cravings, but it will remind you of the times you were using. So eventually you're going to get to a place where it's kind of like question number 1. Why do I romanticize? You romanticize it because of the associations. Every time you use drugs, this song came on and you played that song. Every time you were drinking alcohol, that song came on and made you have blissful experiences, which in the moment you did. You were singing those and you were enjoying them very much. But now that you're sober, you can disconnect. You can say, hey, look, that was the old me. This is the new me. All right? And the new you just enjoys the song from a distance. You don't go standing on tables, running up to the jacks. And how do you handle old music, smells, roots? The roots, again, all of these become disempowered over a period of time. It's not like they stay at 10 out of 10 emotional for you and that's it. All right? Let's and when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. What is number 14? Why does stress make me want to not? Why does stress want to make me use, even when life is going well? Well, probably because you've been. Look at anyone who's a smoker. They would be stressing, and then what do they need? I need to smoke. I need to smoke. I need to smoke. That's all their, and every answer is I need to smoke. So we've conditioned ourselves, whether it's breathing techniques unconsciously, whether it's a sigh, whether it's picking yourself back up, whatever your conditioning is to stress, you're probably using it. You're probably using the substance for many years to cope with stress. You're probably using the alcohol for stress, the substance for stress. So it's probably ingrained in you that whenever you feel stressed, you go to do the substance. So after a period of time where you're not conditioned anymore for your stress needs to become a different thing. Stress needs to become a positive thing. There was a study done back in, I don't know where it was. It might be in Harvard, but there was 2 classes about study. One study group got the same presentation. One study group, the lecturer said, stress is bad for you, it loses your hair, it's bad for your blood pressure, it's bad for your heart. That's bad for stress. The other group got told that stress is actually useful. Stress makes you laser focused. Stress makes your adrenaline pump so you can make decisions faster and more content. The 2 groups were shown the same lecture, but the lecturer told them different results of stress, and then they came out and having different perceptions of stress. So your old stress mechanisms was to go use the substance, go take the thing, and don't worry about it. In the future, stress means what? How will you deal with stress in the future? Is it a sigh? Is it a relaxation? Is it a new thought? You know, instead of using the substance as your old coping mechanism, what's going to be your new coping mechanism? And start building out that list. Like I mentioned, breathing. Like I mentioned, I didn't mention, but focusing on something else, affirming something else to yourself, creating a different narrative in your mind about what stress means to you. All right, number 15. How do I talk to myself after a slip so I don't turn it into a full relapse? Well, slips are normal. 85% of people relapse after 1 year or within 1 year. It's a very real thing. And I relapsed 3 times on my recovery journey. 3 times on my recovery journey. And then I was back. And then I was fully swinging. I wasn't relapsing. So how do you deal with a slip? A slip is normal. What's not normal is to just let it all run and then like give up. If you give up, you're guaranteeing failure. So don't give up. Relapsing is very normal. If you slip, what should you say to yourself? I think the question was, how do I talk to myself? How do you talk to yourself? Pick yourself back up. Don't berate yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't say you're the worst person in the world and you never get things right. Because that only makes you feel worse about yourself. So then you want to take more drugs because you feel bad about yourself. So feel content and okay with yourself. And make sure you're getting in help. Make sure you're in support always. Therapy. If you slip, that's feedback. If I relapse, that's feedback. Because now I can say, what was my mind going through last weekend when I relapsed? Or what thought patterns made me use? Who was I surrounded by that made me use or I wanted to use? These are all very useful thought patterns if you slip. So there's a lot of data in a relapse, and that's why going and getting help consistently will help you with the relapse. All right, number 16. We got 5 more here. What do I do if I'm in recovery, but I'm still people pleasing and can't say no? Well, this is actually something that I would honestly still today find a problem. I was invited to play football 5-a-side today, and as I was invited, I was bringing a friend that came over from Canada, and I said, look, we're both going to play football today, but we didn't because he actually went on a flight and back home no, he's actually gone to Paris, not Canada, and I was saying no to the invites for football, and my body was like, oh my god, saying no. So I still got people pleasing tendencies in there, but I'm not going anyways. It's in 20 minutes and I'm not going. So how do you deal with people please and say no? Say no to drugs. Say no to nights out. Say no to ruining your life. You know, that's what you realize. Realize what you're saying no to. There's some things that are much easier to say no to. And realizing the damage that the substance is going to cause you, I think you can be a lot more content in saying no. Saying no, thank you. No, Warren Buffett loves the word no. You know, what's the difference between successful people and poor people? I'm not sure. I think he says the word is no. I've got Warren Buffett over here. I don't know if you can see him, but maybe you will. No, Warren's not going to come up on the screen. Oh, there he is slightly. There he is. There's Warren. Good old Warren Buffett over there for you. What a great man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Did he score yet? Did he? Oh, they did score. They're 1-0 up. They're about to win the league there. All right. So people pleasing. Don't worry about your best friend saying invite you to talk to your best friend. You're people pleasing with your friends that just like you trust your friends, you love your friends, and they're the people that influence you the most. That's not good. That's not good. You know, saying no to them. Learn to say no to them. All right. Number 17. How do I set boundaries without feeling guilty or mean? Look, dude. If you're in recovery, your life matters so much. The boundaries is not like F you to the other people. The boundaries is literally for you. You're not going to be mean. Don't be mean about your boundaries, but set up your boundaries. What are your boundaries? Your boundaries are, I go out till 10 o'clock and that's it. No more. I'm not staying out any longer. 10 o'clock is when I come home and I'm finished. All right. So that would be an example of a boundary that you can set that you don't sound mean in, and you stick to it. And you sticking to it is the most important thing. You have to stick to your own boundaries, your own sentences. You have to do that on recovery. Fact. How do I handle 18? How do I handle fear that I've permanently damaged my brain and body? Well, studies show, and we know this, after 1 year, your dopamine centers has returned back to baseline, give or take, after 1 year of addiction, let's say cocaine usage. You'll always have the memory that you were an addict, or you'll always have the thought you were an addict, but the dopamine centers are completely rejuvenated and back to a healthy level. So it's not damaged factually and done. I got told twice over the last month that I didn't look like I was an addict. I got told twice I didn't look like an addict, but I was an addict for multiple years, and I took drugs every single day, and I'm very grateful that I don't look like one, even though it's nice to have maybe some damage that I was. So how do I handle the fear that I permanently damage my brain and body? If you download the recovery app, Bulletproof Recovery, it'll actually tell you what the recovery process is. It actually tells you about your body. It tells you that your liver's healing, your kidneys healing. It tells you that your brain center, your dopamine's come back online. So download the app on the App Store, Bulletproof Recovery, and that's my app, and I'm very proud to have that. Check out my YouTube as well. Click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and vote. I'd really appreciate it as well. All right, number 19. And we got two more. So 19. What's the difference between willpower and real recovery system? Wow, I actually really like that question, and I might make a YouTube video on this after this, because everyone says willpower. Every addict, every person outside of addiction says you just need to stop. Just have willpower. Just be disciplined, right? Just be strong. Just say no. Well, willpower works for a certain degree, but it doesn't work for real recovery. And a real recovery strategy, I think I mentioned, a real recovery system. Well, a real recovery system compared to willpower just trumps it all day long. Real recovery system means what times you're going out on the weekends, when you're coming home, who you're hanging around with, what triggers you, what gets you going, what gets you down. It gets you with the processing and dealing those things. You have a relapse prevention plan. You start learning new coping strategies, tools, meditation, journaling, etc. So there's 6 things of how a real recovery system has a much more power over willpower. Willpower is just say no. But yeah, you're still going to be triggered. You're still going to have urges. You're still going to have friends invites and text messages. So you're going to have all of those temptations. Willpower isn't going to be strong enough. And I'll make a video on that just after this. And check out my YouTube channel again, like I mentioned. So number 20, last one of the day here. How do I rebuild trust with myself when my mind doesn't feel relatable? Is that what it's or reliable? When my mind doesn't feel reliable. So how do I rebuild trust with myself when my mind doesn't feel reliable yet? Fantastic question. Why is it fantastic? Because rebuilding trust comes with a bit of time, and your mind plays games on you. So that's why it's a fantastic question. Rebuilding trust does come with time of sobriety, but also comes with you affirming that you're rebuilding trust and you're a much better person and you're happier and you've changed and you've grown. So that's affirmations of who you are, the new identity that you're associating yourself with is very useful. Hit the vote button if you're just new here and you're just tuning in. My mind doesn't feel reliable, but your mind won't feel reliable for multiple months early on recovery, and that's okay. You're going to feel a lot of doubt, a lot of insecurities, a lot of challenges, but after a period of time, you're going to feel a lot healthier, and then you can have more reliability in your own mind. You can start trusting your own thoughts. You can start trusting your own decisions. You can start actually being confident instead of being overconfident early in recovery, which a lot of people are, unfortunately. All right, with that being said, thank you for tuning in for today's stream. I hope you're doing blessed. Great for all the votes that were happened here today. I look forward to seeing you next one. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, check out my Instagram, Gary the Expert, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe tomorrow, is that right? Friday night stream. Fridays with Gary. See you then. All right. Cheers. Bye bye.